I'm excited to be with you here this afternoon to talk about a subject I'm extremely passionate about, and that's my family and Rotary. We as an organization have an opportunity to be more inclusive and accessible to our members, both current and future. And not only Rotarians, but our Rotaractors, who are faced with a very similar situation that I've been over the past 20 years. So I'd like to start by going back to the beginning. Because it was this man that I met now 21 years ago that forever has changed my life. Because I moved into my first property, and it just so happened that my next door neighbor was the incoming president of the North Rockland Rotary. Now, up until meeting Ron, I had no idea what Rotary was. Outside of seeing the wheel on the side of the road, I couldn't tell you what the organization did. But Ron, he asked me if I'd come to my first Rotary meeting. And I said what I thought was a natural question. I said, Ron, what is Rotary? And he gave an answer then that I think still holds true all these years later. Because Ron said to me, don't worry about what Rotary is. You just show up this Thursday and I'm going to introduce you to all the movers and shakers of our community. At 20 years old, how could I possibly turn up this opportunity to meet people to network with? But what I didn't realize is what happens next. Because that Thursday I went to my first Rotary meeting and I walked through that door and Ron held up his end of the bargain. Because in front of me, I had a Supreme Court judge, I had the mayor, I had a vice president of the local bank. You name the who's who of my community, and they were right there. But it's what happened when I walked through that door that had me absolutely amazed. Because those individuals who were significantly my seniors, who I felt I had no business whatsoever sitting across from, saw me as an equal. Because they saw me as a potential Rotarian. And I got introduced to Gary and Bud and Bill and all these great guys. And I realized right then and there that I was in the perfect place. Because the beauty for me about Rotary, and it doesn't matter if it's Rotary in North America or Rotary in India, is that regardless of who you are, where you come from, the color of your skin, your religion, we're all equal. And Rotary has been something that has literally changed my life over 21 years. Let me share my current life with you. So I am blessed, and when I tell you I have the most supportive partner in all of the world, you'll understand it in a second when I tell you what we've got going on in our house. So I'm blessed with my wife Vicki, who's here with us this weekend. Together, we have 5 children, ranging from the ages of 7, Brandon, who you've met, to our oldest is 21. I work a full-time job, as it was mentioned, for a large regional bank in the Northeastern America. I'm a past president of a large realtor organization. I work for the March of Dimes in their founders book. I've coached my child's baseball team. To this day, I still manage and play baseball. And for those who understand the world of cricket, I'm even the commissioner of my Dream 11 fantasy league. And with all that, I have enough time for something we all love, and that's called Rotary. Wow. See, my friends, when you see value in something, there's room for everything. And the message I want to share to you today is how I've been able to make it possible to do all these things, but specifically to be part of this great organization. And that's by bringing it together. By bringing my family into Rotary, and hopefully allowing our members not to choose between their family and Rotary, because if we make them choose, Rotary will lose every time, as it should. But if we can find ways to remove the roadblocks, and find ways to make our organization more accessible and inclusive, and allow children and partners to be part of us, we will grow, and people will not have to make that choice. Do I go to a Rotary meeting, or do I go to family dinner? I'd like to share with you some things that I have witnessed, that I've been part of, and I've been fortunate enough to see through in my years in Rotary. To allow flexibility and accessibility. I start with a district assembly. We've all been to district assemblies. Traditionally, they're in a room just like this. But as governor, I had the opportunity to change the venue. And rather than just inviting our Rotarians, which we do every single year, we invited all of our Rotarians. We invited all the partners of the Rotarians. We invited children and grandchildren of every Rotarian. And we had it at the greatest fun place on earth for a child. You name the activity, it was there. And that night, we had double the amount of Rotarians that we've ever had before at that assembly. The Rotarians and the kids and the partners came in, and we had the partners and the kids go off and play games, and we had the Rotarians in session. We broke midway and we had a big old family dinner, and when we came back from session, we brought all the kids into the session, and we focused on all the youth programs that we're involved with. Interactive, Ryland, Youth Exchange, you name it. So the kids can be engaged. And the stories that I heard following that meeting were, yes, from the Rotarians, it was a great assembly, they learned so much. But what touched me was that the children and the grandchildren that attended are looking forward to their next Rotary event. That's how you take choice away from people. When you have their children and their grandchildren looking forward to go to Rotary, now we're not having our members choose between Rotary and their family. We have to find ways to allow our Rotary service to be experienced by not just our Rotarians. We need to find ways to invite our children, our partners, to serve with us. Whether it's cleanups or feeding the homeless or helping the underprivileged, there's no reason why these hands can't multiply and have our family with us. There's an amazing concept that's currently happening in different parts of North America. And that's a Rotary meeting that's happening twice in one venue. Because in our traditional fashion, we have the Rotarians meet on one side of the venue. And these Rotarians are smart enough to hire a babysitter to watch after the Rotarians' children. And again, I talk about choice. It's the children that are looking forward to going to Rotary every single week because they see their friends. That's the way we can be accessible and inclusive. We need to find ways to bring our partners in. We are very fortunate that we, sitting in this room, have supportive partners that allow us to do the great work of Rotary. And many of those partners are with us and are Rotarians. But those who are not, we need to make sure our events are partner-friendly. That again, we're not making our members choose, do I go to Rotary or am I with my partner? There are things we can do to find ways to bring our family into Rotary. So my friends, I want to close today with some of my successes. People have told me, and you heard the numbers before, that my success might be that I joined this great organization at the age of 20. Or that I was president at 25, I was governor at 32, or my success is that I am a director at such a young age. That's not my success. My success, besides having the most supportive partner in the entire world, is that my partner is Rotarian. My success is that my partner is a past president of a Rotary Club, a past assistant governor, and currently my district's service chair. That's my Rotary success. My success is that my now 21-year-old daughter spent her 10th grade year in Rome, Italy with Youth Exchange. To this day, her phone is in Italian because that specifically changed her life. My success is that my now 20-year-old son credits Ryla as a life-changing event. My success is that my 17-year-old daughter understands service and feeds the homeless on a regular basis. My success is a couple years ago, we were at a conference in Canada. And Jackson, who many of you met this weekend, heard about a concept called Early Act. And fast forward a couple years after COVID, Vicki and I received a phone call from the principal of his elementary school. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was in 3rd grade, and if there was a call to my parents from the principal, it was not going to be a good night. But this phone call was different, because this phone call told us that Jackson went to his elementary school principal's office. And he asked the principal if he could start an Early Act club. Now the principal, not knowing what Rotary was, asked Jackson, what is Rotary? He spent 10 minutes talking about how amazing our organization is. One of the most proudest moments of my life and my Rotary career is when we received a flyer that came home in his school bag. And on top of the flyer it said Early Act, and there was a logo, our logo, on that flyer asking children to be part of this Early Act Club. My success is that my now 10-year-old son and his 7-year-old brother are the president and vice president of the Brinkerhoff Elementary Early Act Club. My friends, we have titles in Rotary. We can be club president, we can be director, we can all be these great things. But the title I am most proud of is being Jackson and Brandon Kessler's father. Wow. That, my friends, is my success. I ask you, or I show you, that my success is my family has been Rotarized. And I close today asking you, what will your Rotary success be? May the light in me honor the light and honor in you. May there be peace in your mind, peace in your mouth, and peace in your thoughts. Namaste.